In all seriousness, let's bring in Alexandra Levine, friend of the show, has not been on before, and she's putting together an event to battle anti-Semitism. I thought, well, why don't we highlight this? We talk about it. Let's actually take some action. Alexandra, good morning. Welcome to Wake Up Patriots, my friend.
Hi, thank you, Ed.
It's so great to have you. Why don't you tell the folks out there a little about who you are? You contacted me on Facebook to say that you're having this event to battle anti-Semitism. We're going to get into the event in a minute. But why are you doing this? Where'd you grow up? What's your background? Why you care? Why do you care? We all care about this issue, but I want to know why you care so much.
Well, I grew up in Sarasota, Florida, and actually at the time there was hardly any Jews. I was the only Jew in the classroom. I was heavily discriminated for a long time being Jewish. And it wasn't until the state of Florida mandated that the Holocaust be taught that we watched videos of the Holocaust. We read the Diary of Anne Frank. We read the book Night by Elie Wiesel.
Yeah.
That a lot of my classmates were like, oh my God, we had no idea. We didn't know that we were making fun of you and all of these atrocities happened to you and to your family and to your people. And it was a come together moment in the classroom. And that was in middle school. And what I'm finding right now is a lot of, especially here in Montgomery County and in the state of Maryland, which does not mandate full teaching of the Holocaust, that when the kids have lack of education of the Holocaust, that's what's causing all of these, the propaganda. It's causing a lot of the anti-Semitism to rise all over the nation, and especially in Montgomery County where we're going to have the event. So I said to myself, I'm going to take action and I'm going to have this event to educate our young people. But also as a Jewish liaison, a national faith leader, my job is to bring, all religions together and to show that not only America, but also Israel is one of the only countries where Christianity and Jewish people and the religion of Islam can all come together as one and work together as one.
There you go. And so for people who are not near Montgomery County, Maryland, it's a national, international show. Is there a Facebook, link, or is there a website where people can find out? Maybe they can send encouragement. Maybe there's some charitable efforts there. Where do people find out about it?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I would tell people to go specifically on my Facebook. So Alexandra Levine, I have a flyer specifically of the event where you can make an in-kind donation or be a sponsor. Montgomery County is in Rockville, the event is in Rockville, Maryland, which is in Montgomery County, and the address is 6125 Montrose Road, Bender JCC. JCC stands for Jewish Community Center. I also did this event because Bender JCC is where my parents met exactly 50 years ago. So I'm dedicating this event to them. And my parents met at a Jewish singles dance there. They don't have Jewish singles dances anymore. They don't have.
Wait, are there singles dances around? Not just Jewish, but that's kind of cool. It's like a throwback. There used to be these singles dances. How cool is that?
Yeah, they have. I mean, they did have Christian singles. I haven't seen them in the area in, God, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 years. And the big hub, for Jewish people. That's why I'm surprised there's not a lot of Jewish singles dances, but also in the Christian faith, there needs to be more singles dances as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are these Christian dating sites and apps and Jewish dating apps. So it's a whole new world out there, obviously. Let's talk about the serious issue. You mentioned, and listening to your first answer closely, that you described yourself as a faith leader.
Yes.
So what does that mean to you? What do you do in your community regularly when you're not doing an event like this? How are you a faith leader, and what does that mean to you?
Well, what I do is awareness, especially to people that maybe not understand the faith of Judaism, or maybe don't understand Judeo-Christian values. So a lot of people are telling me we need to bring Judeo-Christian values back, or make Judeo-Christian values great again. I hear that all the time. And that's really lacking in this country, actually. The rise of anti-Semitism is insane. I'm reading the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League. They said over 400 anti-Semitic incidents on college and university campuses since the Hamas attack on October 7th.
Crazy.
And compared to 33 anti-Semitic incidents during the same period last year. So that's scary. And then there was a poll that came out that a lot of kids do not know the Holocaust, or they teach it for like maybe a week, or they may teach World War II, but they kind of forget to teach about the Holocaust. Yeah. So as a or, my job is to kind of bring faith back to people, to let them know the difference between Judaism and Christianity and Islam, and how all three religions can work together as one, like they do in Israel, like they're doing in Israel right now. And that's what we need.
It's funny because as you're talking, people in our live chat on Rumble, it's a couple thousand already in there, and it's growing. I got Tony Schaefer coming up, Dave Walsh coming up, John Schneider coming up, Rachel Uchitel coming up. So we got a big show. And someone, our friend Sean Lucas in New Jersey, said we need a singles Trumpster dance. So that might be interesting. I think there's some conservative dating apps now. I know there's a woman I interviewed at Fox and Friends a long time ago who had some kind of a right swipe kind of thing. So that's out there. But on the serious point of Donald Trump, as a Jewish woman, as a faith leader, I have this conversation all the time here in South Florida. And actually, I was with Jason Miller last night, the advisor to the Trump campaign. I guess I shouldn't say some of the things they're planning to do here in South Florida, but they have some interesting ideas. Let's put it that way. And I'll try to get Jason on the podcast next week to unveil it. It's his news to break, but they're thinking about some interesting billboards in South Florida, let's just say, about how Biden has not been there for the Jewish community and how Donald Trump has been. And so I wonder, as a Jewish woman, I don't understand, as a Catholic man, how there are so many Jewish people. And I genuinely believe First Amendment, freedom of speech here. And if you want to vote a certain way, I'm not going to tell anybody how, but I don't understand. I can't wrap my head around how you could be Jewish in this country and not see that Biden and Harris, when you just cited these statistics of anti-Semitism growing, okay, and they want to just talk about Islamophobia, and they don't speak out strongly about anti-Semitism. How are there so many Jewish people in America who still give money to the Democrat Party with AOC and the squad and vote for them? It's a simple question. I don't understand it.
I mean, that is always the question of the day, because there is such a divide between American Jews and Israeli Jews, because most Israeli Jews, they love Trump. And actually, American Israelis, people that have dual citizenship, that live in Israel, but they still keep their American citizenship and they vote in our elections, they all voted 92% for Trump, 98% for Trump. But I'll be honest with you, the more accomplishments that President Trump did for Israel, like when he moved the embassy, that was a wake up for the Jewish people. And a lot more Jewish people voted for Trump in that election. And now we see the rise of anti-Semitism. I talk to a lot of Jewish people. I'm from Florida, actually. I'm a permanent resident still of Florida and the county. But I do a lot of work down in Palm Beach and Broward County, Miami-Dade, which are very liberal Jewish areas, as you know. And a lot of are moving. They're moving and they're voting Republican, especially now after October 7th, because, and even Democrats are even upset about what other Democrats are saying about, what happened during October 7th, and how come there isn't so much of an uproar. And what happened on Congress with the three the three presidents from Harvard and from UPenn and MIT, actually Senator a Democratic Senator, Jackie Rosen, who's Jewish from Nevada, she was the one that was very appalled by the testimonies of these three women and how they couldn't answer Congresswoman Elise Stefanik's question from New York about, calling for the genocide of Jews. Is that bullying? Is that harassment? And they couldn't answer. They said, depends on the context. So that was for a lot of Democratic voters, actually. You're going to see, in my opinion, a lot more shifts from the Jewish faith to actually vote Republican on this next coming election.
Absolutely. Alexandra, you teed up perfectly. In a minute, I'm going to get to a little bit of news about Claudine Gay, one of those three university presidents you mentioned. Real quick, I want to mention one of our sponsors, zstacklife.com/wake up. Get the discount and supercharge your immune system. This came from the late, great Dr. Zelenko, who had the first real protocol that was working with COVID-19. Fauci and big pharma, big medicine, big government called Dr. Zelenko a conspiracy theorist. Well, his formula actually worked. They've now put it together in this vitamin supplement. Check it out, zstacklife.com/wake up. I want to put this up for you, Alexandra, which is, and guys, there you go. Embattled Harvard president Claudine Gay, this is a couple of nights ago, attends menorah lighting after widespread anti-Semitism backlash. How do people not see through this stuff? She had the chance. I mean, I was appalled, as you were, so many. And it's like, if someone calls for genocide at Harvard, is that against the code of conduct for bullying and harassment? It depends on the context, Alexandra. It depends on the and now she attends a menorah lighting and wants Jewish people and people of all backgrounds to believe that somehow she's not anti-Semitic. Your thoughts?
Well, I can be honest with you, and I've talked to a lot of people about this, Democrats and Republicans and independents, and they said she did this as a PR stunt. They're not happy with it at all. And actually, the Chabad rabbi, there's a viral video that went out. He's the Chabad rabbi at the Harvard Hillel, and he said, after we light the menorah, we have to basically take it away, take it off campus. We have to make it so it doesn't exist for fear that the menorah is going to be attacked or damaged or vandalized. Why?
Right. Well,
Why
can I put this up real quick? I don't mean to interrupt, but guys, if we put this up, Libs of TikTok, Chaya on X put this up, and you may be referring rabbi at Harvard alleging that Harvard makes him remove the menorah every night after he lights it. She writes, "This is not surprising because the president of Harvard said calling for the genocide of Jews does not violate policy." Let me see if I can hear him.
Well, let you have the menorah. You made your point. Okay. Pack it up. Don't leave it out overnight.
Crazy.
Because there will be criminal activity, we fear, and it won't look good. You know when change is going to happen on this campus? When we don't have to pack up the menorah.
Unreal.
When the current dean of students not able to tell me last Shabbat over dinner that a student confides in him. And he looks in the mirror before he leaves his dorm room to ensure that there's nothing on his physical appearance that gives away the fact that he's a Jew.
This is unbelievable. We could obviously go on and on with it. And I just wanted to highlight that. And I'm thinking, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's what I'm referring to. But the fact that we as Jewish people, we have to hide from our religion. Williamsburg, Virginia, they actually canceled the candle lighting because they said it's too pro-Israel. Or they said, unless you put a hashtag Free Palestine or ceasefire flag above the menorah, you can light your menorah.
Yeah.
Like insane. This has been the most horrible Hanukkah, I'll be honest, in the history of Hanukkah is here in the United States. I was at the Chabad of Olney. There was destruction of that menorah literally hours before we lit the first candle.
Crazy.
This is insane what's going on around the country. And I have a lot of friends in Montgomery County. They're afraid to keep the mezuzah. Mezuzah is a symbol of Judaism. It's a symbol that Jewish home on the doorpost of your home. They want to remove their mezuzahs from the doorpost of their homes because they're afraid. Jewish kids are afraid to wear their kippahs when they go to school. They're afraid to wear their Jewish stars or the mezuzahs around their neck. It shouldn't be that way. We should be able to practice our religion freely and not be afraid of being attacked. And that's what it is about. It's about not being afraid. It's about expressing yourself and honoring your religion and keeping your religion and not feeling that you have to, hide behind your religion. This is not World War II. We don't want this to be World War II over again, but that's what's going on. And these pro-Hamas people are trying to scare us. They're trying to scare the Jewish people from practicing our faith. It's not right. It's not right at all. It's
crazy. Amit, can we put that up, please? Okay, they're working on getting your graphic up. I want to make sure people know about the event. And I just want to say while they're doing that, and we'll post it later if it takes a minute to I just sent them a copy of your flyer.
Beautiful. That's it.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, we just put it up on there. So it's covering me up for a second. That's good. If someone wants to take a picture of their Roku screen or Rumble screen or wherever you're watching, they're going to call it up. That's the event you're putting together this weekend. Is that right, in Maryland?
Sunday. Yeah, this Sunday from 3:30 to 6. We're going to have a lot of great speakers from different faith denominations. We're actually going to have a panel of the executive director from the University of Maryland Hillel, the Towson University Hillel, as well as the American University Hillel. So we'll have like a panel, and then we'll have people from other counties. We'll have some elected officials there that will focus on the stats of anti-Semitism in their area, and also about the education, the lack of Holocaust education in their counties, in their respected counties. So that's really important. Again, the goal for me and for others is to mandate that the Holocaust be taught in all 50 states in this nation, not just 26, but all 50 states. It's so important in a state like Maryland, which has the Holocaust Museum, so close. You can take the kids there.
Washington, D.C., yeah,
it's right there. And also, we need to play Schindler's List. We need to play real documentaries of the Holocaust. There is the 47-minute video that Hamas, filmed of what they did to my people. And it was tremendous. I do believe that people of age should watch that video. It changes you as a person. It makes you stronger as a person to see heinous and barbaric acts. And evil.
Alexandra Levine, we appreciate you coming on. I hope the event's successful. You contacted me. I thought, you know what? We love to talk to real Americans like yourself. And here you are. I don't know if you've been on a podcast like this before. We'd love to have you back and hear about the event next week.
Yeah, I have. And thank you so much. And I just want to say shout out to my friend, Tony Schaefer, great guy and wonderful person. And he's done a lot.
A second. So, Amit, let's keep Alexandra up. Can Tony, you want to come on in? Let's deal in.
Hey, good morning. Well, thank you for the shout out. Good to see you. Yes.
And then I got my friend Dave Walsh. So let's bring him in. We'll have a little quad box here. Dave Walsh Energy on Getter. Dave, good morning.
Good morning, Ed. Morning, Ed. How are you?
You don't need Fox and Friends. You got Ed and Friends now. Wake Up Patriots. Here we are. Gentlemen, I want you to react to what I saw you both on deck, what Alexandra was talking about. I'm thinking, Tony, and I didn't know you knew Alexandra, so please tell us
how we've been together and done several things, especially at CPAC and stuff. It's been great. She's amazing, by the way.
That's great.
Just her energy, and I don't know how she does it, because I see her doing all this stuff, and now all the things you just talked about. It's amazing. So God bless you for what you're doing. So
that's great. Tony and Dave, what I want you to do is to talk about first, and then we'll get into what's happening in the Israel-Hamas war. And Dave's got some great stories on Joe Biden's bungled energy policies. But Tony and Dave, I'm thinking as I'm listening about the rabbi at Harvard, who'll put the menorah away. It's going to cause problems. There's going to be criminal activity around it. Yeah, because like pro-Hamas morons at Harvard are going to come and destroy the menorah. And I'm thinking, guys, that if it was a trans student doing something on those steps, they would have armed guards to protect the trans student, say, you cannot do this to a trans student, but it's a menorah. Hey, Rabbi, get it out of here, Tony. How absurd is this? This is Harvard.
Well, I think they have to protect it from the professors, Ed. It's not the students, the professors.
Yes, I think you're right. Dave?
Well, Ed, you may know I was a trustee at a major U.S. university for 5 years. I'm telling you, this kind of behavior is absolutely nothing new. It's been going on in various forms. This is the latest one that's really pointed publicly, but in various forms for nearly 15 years, all kinds of discrimination against Jews, against Christians, against beliefs, thoughts, and ideas that administration and students alike decide they don't like. In just massive discrimination. And then freedom of speech has been the bulwark of it until now. Now we have this not unbelievable. If you really know education at high level, university level, and how it's operated, I hate to say this is actually not a surprise. These guys have been behaving in this fashion across all manners of free speech as well for a long time now. So at least this brings it to the surface very visibly.
It does. Amit, can we put this up? I want everyone to react to this. I didn't get to it yesterday. Boston mayor, Asian American woman, defends a holiday party. An invite went out going to, quote, electeds of color. So like elected officials of color. She says it was an honest mistake. But Alexandra, they had a Christmas party, holiday party, and said, we're only inviting Blacks, Hispanics, Asians. White elected officials are not invited. This is America in 2023. And what do you think about this? This is the mayor.
This is disgusting. And a lot of my friends, they can't believe that this is happening, like you said, in 2023. The woman is basically attacking white people. And it's asinine. It's very asinine. I want to go back to Harvard University. I went to Harvard Hillel. I led services at Harvard Hillel. And I can tell you that the president at the time, it wasn't Dr. Gay, it was somebody else, they never showed up. The dean of Harvard never showed up. I went to MIT Hillel. The presidents don't show up. The deans don't show up. So they only show up when they think, something bad has happened or when they get pressure. They don't actually take it into account that maybe I should go and talk to my students, my Jewish students. Maybe I should attend a Shabbat dinner or Shabbat morning services with them. And Congresswoman Elise Stefanik brought that up again. That woman, Dr. Gay, has been the president since July of 2023. And she just now started to go to Harvard Hillel after the October 7th attack. That's ridiculous.
Alexandra, we really appreciate you coming in. We're going to talk a little politics with Tony and Dave now. But we hope you come back soon and have a good event, and we'll have you back after the event to find out what people are saying.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, take care, Alex.